Everyone, it's Greg. Welcome to Cutting the Crap with Chap. Thank you so much for checking out my YouTube channel and on Spotify. I really appreciate it. If you get a chance, please consider subscribing and sharing and liking. It makes a big difference in developing the channel. I've been really grateful for all of the positive feedback. So today's video is all about Teacher Appreciation Week. For those of you who don't know, I've been in the education field for 36 years. This is actually the end of my I think 36 year, I think. It's either 35 or 36. And I'm always amazed that the years have gone by this quickly. You don't think about it, but 35 or 36 years is a long time. And while not every moment has been great, many of the years have been fabulous. And I can't think of a better decision that I made than to get into the field of education. So with Teacher Appreciation Week coming up, I wanted to do a short little video about the week and about why it matters and how we can promote it. So first of all, when you think about Teacher Appreciation Week, I know hundreds and hundreds of teachers. And if you ask them, do you feel like you make a difference in the lives of students? I think many of them would say yes, but they'd probably take a pause because they often don't think about it. And for Teacher Appreciation Week, we need to really think about the difference that we make in the lives of students and their families. It's easy on the day to day to kind of forget about that. We have so much going on, right? Grades and lesson plans and objectives and emails and a million other things that it's simple to forget the difference we make. And I would encourage you to take a moment during your day, in between periods, at lunch, or whenever you have free time, take a moment and think about the difference you're making for kids. Again, that is such a critical point in our field of education, simply because so many times we hear all of the negative stuff that's around us. Oh, this teacher left and now they feel great, and this teacher is not happy, and there's violence, and I'm not going to say that those things don't exist. They do, but they're a small minority of all of the great things that go on. Now, listen, they also get attention. Like, nobody cares that Craig is saying, "Oh my God, I love my job," right? But there's millions of teachers who do really enjoy their job, and we need to make sure that we are telling people that we enjoy our work. I'm not saying to brag about it, but we do need to make sure that we tell people that we enjoy being an educator, a leader, or whatever role you have in education. So often it gets lost in the haze because we hear so much negative stuff that we forget all of the positive stuff. So what can we do for Teacher Appreciation Week? First of all, we can tell our colleagues that we care about them. So my suggestion is, when we start work, tell a colleague that you appreciate who they are, what they stand for, and what they're doing. And tell more than one. It's a great way to start the day, lift their day, and make them appreciate that the job they're doing is important. Plus, it also carries a huge pay it forward concept. Because once you tell somebody that you care about what they're doing and you appreciate them, they will tell somebody else. Number two, make sure you tell students that you care. Ultimately, that's why we're in education. We're in education to help kids, no matter what grade level you're at. That's why we're doing our job. And when you tell students that you care, when you tell them you appreciate them, they are going to reciprocate in kind. It's just how it works. Number three, make sure that you take a moment and step back and relax. I know that sounds crazy, but I can tell you personally, when I have a few moments during my day, I really focus on my own wellness, especially if I'm having like a tough day or a tough moment. I take a step back and I really try to unwind for a second. I know that sounds easy, and it's not always easy. Sometimes it can be really hard, but it does really help. Even if it's just for 5 minutes, like when nobody's around, where you're sitting listening to music or having something to eat or just relaxing, take a moment to just unwind. Number four, this is critical, and this is something I really have struggled with most of my career. For Teacher Appreciation Week and beyond, please separate your work from your home. For many years, I was a coach. coached lots of different sports, and I would bring lots of work home with me. And it seemed like the work day was just continuous. So go to work, come home, do work, grade, send emails, great, assess students, and then you wake up and do the next thing the next day. And while I'm never going to say to somebody, don't do grades, I am going to say that the balance of home and work is vital, especially if you are a new teacher and you do not have the work life balance. You need to get it, because it will make your life so much better and so much more productive when you're able to kind of balance that out. And number 5, the last tip, is going to be realize that not every day is going to be perfect. Now, I remember when I came out of my student teaching experience 36, 37 years ago, I was so ill prepared for what was coming my way, because my student teacher experience was really positive, and my first full time job was really difficult. I wasn't ready for it at 22, and it took me a while to kind of realize like what I was being told was not exactly what was happening. So you have to understand, no matter where you are in your career, there are going to be amazing moments, and hopefully lots of them. But there's also going to be difficult moments. And sometimes it's going to be more than a moment. I mean, it might be a month, a couple months, and maybe even a year or more. But you have to be able to balance that. So over my 36 years or 35 years, if I think about how many years I've had that have been positive, I can honestly say that out of those 35, I would say really, I don't know the exact, because it's a long career, but I would say like, at least 30 of them have been pretty darn positive. There have been a couple that have been very, very tough, but I didn't let that take me away from all the good things that are happening. So whatever you can do to take that moment and realize that if you have a bad day, it's a bad day. Try not to allow it to become a bad month. And if it's a bad month, try not to allow it to become a bad year. Sometimes things are out of our control. We might have an administrative team that's tough, might be parents, a class, whatever it is. Some things are out of our control. And that is something we have to learn to cope with, because our jobs are to be in the classroom or whatever your role is and do the best job to the best of our ability. Sometimes things are going to be out of our control, and we have to realize that. So I hope the tips that I've given are helpful and beneficial. Again, it's Teacher Appreciation Week. Spend a few moments, first of all, appreciating yourself, appreciating your students, and appreciating those people you work with. It will make a huge difference in your life. If you get a chance, please consider subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to be on my podcast, my YouTube channel or Spotify, I'd love to have you, because I want to have as many voices as possible. So thank you again for all you do. I always finish off every episode with a positive statement. And here it is. For my teachers out there, thank you for all you do. You make a difference each day. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon.